I definitely made this mistake for a long time, and really only now is something that I've been focusing on and trying to fix, and I've genuinely seen big change. And it's simply focusing on the outcome, not the hours. Most of the time, how I kind of viewed progress or how I kind of viewed success was like the number of hours you put into something. And whilst that's actually true, that the more hours you put into something does mean that you are going to be gaining a positive outcome, hopefully. But at the same time, there's more to it. There's more layers to it. Because someone could put in a lot of hours and still get to the same point as someone that put in half the amount of hours. Because it's not necessarily about the amount of hours that you put in, but it's about the amount of quality hours that you put in. And honestly, for a long time, like literally up until 2 weeks ago, I thought if I just put in the hours, if I just work and work and work, I will get where I want to get. And it's not necessarily true, and it definitely isn't, because if you put in so much hours, sometimes you can only just lead to burnout, and it's not actually good for your productivity and in the long run. So how do you fix this? It's very simple. Count the outcome, not the hours. Usually when I have a task or a piece of work that I have to do, I always just kind of count the number of hours. I'm always like, yeah, after work, I come back, I edited for about 3 hours. But really, what I did in 3 hours, I really could have done in 1 hour of just complete focused work. So it got me thinking and just made me realize, like, yeah, I've put in so much hours, but I really haven't gotten what I put the hours in for, if that makes sense. The ROI wasn't there. The return on investment from my hours wasn't actually high enough that it should be. So then it got me thinking, how do I start fixing this? After a little bit of research, reading, I came across this concept of deep work, which basically means you're in a very heightened state, a focused state of mind, a flow state, where the only thing you have is just you, yourself, and the tasks that you have to do. And I'm going to give you just pure practical advice. I don't want this video to be just, this is exactly what it was, blah, 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 and never actually get to the point. I'm going to get to the point now. And the point is, to be productive is to give yourself strict outlines that you want to achieve. For example, in one day, let's say tomorrow, I want to make sure that I want to edit a video. Yeah, I could say, then I did say this normally, let me put 3 hours of editing work in, it's all good. And normally I'd do that. I'd come home from work, I'd just edit my videos, 3 hours, boom. But it wasn't enough. It wasn't specific enough. Now switch this over, flip the script. Instead of saying I want to put 3 hours of editing work, forget the hours, take the time away, but I want to get XYZ done. I want to finish my color grading for my video. I want to complete my intro, and I want to write the script to the ending of the video. Now you have actual tasks that you need to do. It's like a game. You know, in a game where you're playing and you've got a new objective or a new mission. Sometimes these missions, these objectives can take you several hours. Sometimes you can do it very quickly. But the point is that you have these specific set goals, micro goals, and you kind of affirm to yourself, or you write this down. Personally, I like to put sticky notes and just stick them on my room, or I've got this calendar app where I just kind of put in all the tasks that I need to do for the day. And the key goal isn't to count the amount of hours. The key goal is simply to do those tasks that you have to do in the day, no matter how long it takes. So make it reasonable and make sure those specific goals are in mind, right? And that's it. And you'll notice one thing. You might write really simple goals, but it might take you a long time. This is where you analyze yourself and you realize, why is it taking you that long? And it's distractions. It's distractions that really prevent you from doing something that should take 1 hour, but you've taken 2 hours to do. Because you've always looked at your phone, you're checking social media in the background. You're not actually in the flow state. You're more so just, you might be listening to a podcast on the side, or you might be watching YouTube on whilst you're doing this specific task that you're meant to be doing. Your head is not completely in that focus zone, and to get into that flow state, you have to eliminate all distractions. So set the goals, eliminate distractions. Trust me, your productivity will go through the roof.